And what first brought you to Ohana Oasis?
It was interesting by happenstance. So if you remember, Heidi, I believe you were in Salt Lake or you were in Hawaii, one of the two.
No, I
Because
was
our
in
friend
Maui.
lived. You're in Maui, that's right. Okay, you were in
Yeah.
Maui. So I knew our friend from Salt Lake, but she lived over in Hawaii as well. And you had been talking about starting this. And our friend was one of Christy, my wife's best friends. She overheard you talking, and you two talked it up. Started chumming it up a little bit, and she said that she had some friends in mind for your inaugural retreat. And so we got the information, and Christy and I both looked at each other like this had to be some sort of scam or a joke. We just thought, what's the catch? And it really took us a little while to actually even engage you, if you remember. And then we finally engaged you, and you were like, yeah, so this is crazy that that this happened the way it did, but this is what we're all about. And one thing led to another, led to another. And we found ourselves on an airplane, not knowing what to expect at all. We showed up, and one of your friends was waiting there for us. And I thought, okay, here's Heidi. And she says, I'm not Heidi, and I'm taking you to her. And I thought, well, I hope they don't harvest me for my organs or something like that,
Which I guess that's part of being the first retreat is you have no idea. You don't have any pictures or testimonials or anything.
Yeah, your Yelp reviews were at a 0. So
well, I'm really glad you came and tried it out.
It was a game changer for both of us. It was amazing, almost indescribable with words. That's for sure. The week we spent with you and with those other couples.
Wow. So, do you have like a favorite memory or activity that sticks out to you, even like 6 years out? I'd be really curious.
Yeah. So, Christy and I, when we got back from Hawaii, we were astounded at being the first couples that went out, the first crew, but how well you had put things together. I can't imagine how well it's put together now and how well oiled of a machine you have. But all the time had been partitioned perfectly, and we were doing some fun stuff and some very emotional things, some very introspective and some very kind of group oriented things. So the one thing that really sticks out to me was when we paddled out to the ocean. We had written some little notes for our kiddos, and paddling out to the ocean and really taking that time. The visual of kind of putting that leaf in the middle of the ocean and watching, our greatest dreams, our greatest desires, hopes for those kiddos, wherever they may be, and taking a moment in silence. I thought that was so reverential. That was, for me, that was a very spiritual experience. And I know that the others that were on the group said kind of the same thing, that we could kind of connect with our loved ones, but also connect with each other, connect with nature, connect with everything around us to really kind of hone all those feelings straight into our bodies. And I remember becoming quite emotional and very grateful for that moment, that we can look back on that all those years later, and to see that photo of me telling Lila that all I hoped for her at this point was peace, and that I couldn't wait to see her again.
So sweet. Are there any lessons, and it could be from Ohana Oasis or just in general, or things that have impacted you in a long-lasting way through your journey of grief?
Of course, I think one of the biggest things for me that I really took away from it, and this will kind of answer a couple of questions, is it really kind of showed me the value of really opening yourself up. As frightening as it is, as terrifying as the experience may be, it really allowed me the freedom to open myself up and express myself on all those different levels that sometimes we're just terrified to. I'm an easygoing guy. I can talk to anybody about anything, anytime. But you get into this mode of, there's nothing more sacred to you than the relationship you have with your child, and that can be trampled on accident or on purpose, and all sorts of things. And with those families, those other couples that we were with, we were opening up about our innermost fears and hopes and joys and anguish within 30 minutes of meeting each other. And it was unbelievable of what an experience that kind of opened up for me, just because it's not just about losing your kids. Every one of us has problems. This one is the problem. It's unbelievably huge, but every one of us has problems. And when people are in their throes of those problems, it kind of takes me back to that moment where I just say, you have to break through as many walls as you possibly can, because being around other people, connecting to those people, that's the only thing that really kind of helps you keep going. You can't do this by yourself. It's impossible.